What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Super excited about this one because this one's going to be so good. Today we're going to talk about price action and some hacks that's going to take you to the next level, right? Because there's a few common misconceptions about price action and understanding price action that I think is holding a few of you back. And in this video, it's not going to be too long. By the end of the video, you will have a much more clear idea of how you should go about price action trading, and and life's going to be a lot easier for you for sure. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so just so you guys know, I am on the daily chart, right? And I'm going to be on the daily chart the whole time, right? Because for what we're talking about, we don't need to go anywhere else. So guys, what I want to go over with you is, one very important thing, right? First thing I want you to do, just get rid of the it's this pattern, or is this candlestick formation, or it's this whatever you want to call it, right? Because the best way to understand and really tag your trades, like snipe your trades, is just understanding the relationship between the buyers and sellers, and then picking the winning side, right? You want to pick the winning side, and you can't do that if you don't understand who's winning, right? Some of you know what candlestick formations are, but you don't know what the candle actually means in itself, right? You don't know what the buyers and sellers in this particular formation are actually trying to tell you, right? Some of you understand patterns, but you don't know what it really means. Like, you don't know what the pattern is actually saying, which is why I said the name of the pattern really doesn't matter at all. What matters is you understanding what is being shown to you based off the candles, and obviously everything in its entirety is telling you as well. So, for example, man, let's go ahead and get into it. So, if I were to go about my day, right, and just mark up this daily chart, first thing I would want to mark up is the high right here, right? And let's bring that down a little bit. Notice number one, I'm not putting a bunch of lines on my screen, right? Because number one, I don't really care about the specific number. A lot of people care about the specific number a little too much. Like, for example, if it's not at 16996.7, right, then, it's not valid, or whatever the case may be, right? Get that out your head, guys. One thing I want you to understand, number one, is your levels aren't like they're the most important levels in the world, right? You want to just understand that, okay, this area right here, this zone right here is where I want to be aware of what's going on at all times, right? Not only is this a high, meaning that the price of NQ, which is what we're looking at right now, hasn't been up here and or hasn't been above this price before, but you can see here there is no defined number that is going to give me exactly what I'm looking for. But what I see is, and pause the video really quick if you can, and actually just tell me what you see. Like, what is this price action saying to you right now? Like, what do you see right here? Some of you may say, oh, well, possible, rejection. Some of you may say, consolidation to a breakout, or the buyers doing this or sellers are doing that, right? But what I see when I look at this, I see that the buyers were in control, right? They were on a pretty decent uptrend, or more than decent uptrend. It looks like they got really exhausted. The sellers finally made, a mark, finally took a stand, and the sellers just like, no, you're not getting above this level, right? You can see the constant rejection, right? Tons of rejections at this level, which is why I want to be aware of it. And the reason I want to be aware of it is because when we go to present day and we inch up towards this level and we get to this level, I'm going to be able to reference way back here, okay, this is what happened last time we were here. I know that the sellers really like this level, so I want to make sure I'm aware of this level. Realize I did not say, oh, we're going to get here and reject, right? I don't know what we're going to do, right? Until we get more data, we actually get to this level, and then we look at the multiple time frames. But for right now, I need to make sure that I'm aware of this level, right? Not only that, but realize we're on the daily time frame as well. So that tells me that this is a key level, right? Because the bigger the time frame, the more powerful these levels are going to be, right? And if you don't really understand what I mean, the 5 minute and the daily, the daily is going to be stronger. The hourly and the 15-minute, the hourly is going to be stronger. That's just the way it is, right? The bigger the time frame, the stronger the stronger whatever you see is, right? So if you see a rejection, if you see a bounce or whatever on a bigger time frame, that usually lets you know, okay, this is going to be a serious bounce. For example, bullish setups on a 5-minute chart may run for, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, maybe an hour or even longer, right? But a bullish setup on the daily chart may run for days, right? That's the difference. It's just going to be a much more aggressive move, right? So we already established why that was an important level. We understand that the sellers are sitting there. They're like, no, we're not going to let this happen. So let's continue to break this chart down, right? Next thing I see is this right here, right? Isaac, what do you see here? Well, as you can see right here, obviously we made a move up, we rejected, right? Then we made a move up again, bounce, 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 and then we fell under. But obviously, Isaac, we can see that. But what really, where's the understanding part here, right? So here's what I want you to pay attention to, guys, right? I want you to understand, this is why I say that the names of the candles aren't important. I want you to understand what these candles are trying to tell you. So, for example, let's actually bring it down here. Right? So this is obviously a level here, right? Made a move up, right? But sellers just kind of sat on it, tried to make it stand. Buyers like, nah, you're not ready yet. Then we made a move up, right? Another move up. Now let's break this whole entire situation down, right? So one, we made a move up, and then we hit this, 15,100 zone, right? There's a 15,100. That's just because we're watching NQ, right? Not only that, but if we actually look even further, it looks like we made a move up, right? The buyers or the seller, just a small little pullback, nothing serious, made a move up, came back down, bounced off that same level again. So just because of the pure fact that we bounced off that level twice, I want to be aware of it because possibly later on it will have relevance. You can see that it did, right? And this is the daily chart. So this is weeks later. It came back down to this level and bounced off that same level, which is why we want to remain aware of these things, right? Let's actually dive deeper now. So we see that boom, boom, right? And we made a move up towards this 15,100 level. And one thing I want you to realize as well is that look at these candles, right? Because this is when we really start looking at the candlestick formation. Not the name of it, but the candlestick formation, right? You can see that we have a wick right here, right? If you don't know what a wick means, we'll talk about it. But you can see how the wick, we have a wick that formed right here. We bounced up the same level, right? And then not only that, but you can see here that, right next to it, we have the same wick, meaning that the sellers tried to bring it down and then the buyers brought it right back up, right? The sellers tried to bring it down and the buyers brought it right back up, right? But you may say, well, Isaac, how does this represent that the buyers are going to take control? But the candle's red. The candle, just like the name of the candles don't matter, the color of the candle, I couldn't really care less. Just because it's red does not mean it's bear. I'm a bearish on it now. That's not how this works, right? We have a support level, made a move up, came back down, boom, bounced off the same level, right? Sellers pushed it down, buyers pushed it back up, and then we took off. Now you may be like, Isaac, well, how does that represent buying pressure at all? How does that represent, why does that still represent that we're bullish, right? So let me actually break this down really quick. So here's how candles work, just a quick crash course. So a candle has an opening, right? Let's say the candle moves up. This is what it's going to look like. And just for the sake of simplicity, this is what the color of the candle will be, right? We have the opening right here. And then the color of the candle, right, as it moves up will be green. But let's say before the candle closed, right? Before the candle closed, this is what it did. Ignore the color, right? Let's say before the candle closed, it ended up making a move down, right? It ended up making a move down. Guess what? This is what's formed. So you can see that the buyers moved the price up. Then the sellers came in and said, nope, and moved the price all the way back down. And the reason that it's red is because it went under the opening price, right? So if a candle goes under the opening price, it's going to be red. If the candle goes above the opening price, it's going to be green. Simple as that. So when we see this, we can see that the opening was here. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that's incorrect. The opening was here, right up here, right? The sellers brought it all the way down here, and then the candle closed right here, right? And we can tell that, because the candle's red. But the reason why I don't care is because I already see what I needed to see. I saw that the sellers, just the history of the candle, I see that the sellers brought it down. The buyer said no, brought it right back up, right? Next candle, sellers brought it down. The buyers brought it right back up, right? Opening price. What the sellers tried to do, right? Buyers brought it up here for a second, and then the candle ended up closing right here, right? That's all. Like, you don't need too much, right? You don't need the name and the color and all that stuff. No, you can see that the sellers, look, right, even right here, right? Made a move up. Sellers tried to bring it down. Buyers said no. Now, we do have some rejection right here. You can see that the buyers tried to bring it up twice, 3 times, and the seller said no, and brought it back down. But the buyers obviously were a lot stronger here. The sellers brought the price back down. The buyers brought the price back up. Simple as that, right? That's why I saw the buying pressure there. Now, let me also state that we're only working on one time frame right now, so obviously the data is going to be limited. So we're not going to go over every single reason why we would know that this is bullish, because I want to keep it very simple for this video, right? Another thing we see, right? We also see a trend line. Well, Isaac, what does this mean exactly? I'm a new trader, or I just really don't understand why this matters or what this is. Well, I'm glad you asked. So check this out. All right, so if we zoom in just a tiny bit, right? Like I said, it's all about understanding the buyers and the sellers, the relationship between who's doing what, who has the power. So let's see here. So we had a move up, right? Boom, move down. Right, sellers kind of stepped in a little bit. Boom, they moved it back down. Buyer said no, right? This is that first bounce, right? This bounce right here is irrelevant in regards to the trend line, because we don't know the trend line's here at this time. Consider that nothing else is showing on the screen, right? So we make a move back up, right? You can see here we start getting a real choppy, but the sellers are just kind of, or the buyers just kind of holding, or the sellers, I'm sorry, are holding this level, but the buyers aren't going anywhere. Right, the sellers gain a little bit of strength, but look right here. Okay, we bounce off the same. Now we see consistency. Right, we bounce here, we bounce here. Now I get really interested, when I see stuff like this, because now we're forming intentional higher lows. Right, so and in this case, it's not like a trend reversal, because you can see here we've been going up the entire time, but you can see that. We do have a higher low. Isaac, break that down. Okay, cool. The buyers brought it up. The sellers brought it down. The buyers brought it up again. The sellers brought it back down. But understand this. When the sellers brought it down, the buyers stepped in sooner than they did the last time, meaning that they're getting more aggressive, right? So they didn't go here, and then back down here again. No, they came here and then here, right? So that lets me know that the buyers are getting aggressive, right? Then we have that resistance level here, right? And then we break above. Obviously, that's a wonderful breakout. Everybody's happy if you played the upside. Now, Isaac, let's break this down. Let's break this down some more. Let's break down this next progression, right? So we break out of this this resistance level that the sellers are trying to hold, right? Buyers are clearly here to stay. I mean, that lower high was beautiful. We bounced and we're just aggressive going forward, right? Isaac, so how did you know the next rejection was coming, right? How can I know that this is coming right here? How can I possibly know that that's coming, this rejection at this level? Well, you guys ask great questions. Let me break that down for you. Now, understand this. When we broke out of this resistance level, look at the aggressiveness. Look at how aggressive. Look how and these aren't impulsive. This is solid breakout. Look at these bullish candles. Solid bullish candle, consolidation. Solid bullish candle, solid bullish candle. And then we get here, right? And assume we don't even have this yet, right? We don't have anything past this. Assume we're in real time. The market's actually doing its thing. These candles are forming as we're watching it. How do we know that this is going to reject? Well, it gets pretty simple after that, right? So check this out. Number one, look at the aggressiveness of these candles, and then look how the candles kind of fall off, right? And this is where, again, the names of the candles don't matter. I want you guys to understand what these candles mean, right? So let's do this really quick. This out here, right? I want you to understand what the buyers and sellers are trying to tell you. So remember we talked about the formation of the candles, right? We have the opening, right? And then we may have a wick here, then a move up here, right? That's bullish, or it just shows that the closing price was higher than the opening price. Doesn't mean it's bullish. It, like in the sense of like the market in general, it just means that the candle itself individually, the opening price was here, the closing price was here. Technically, this would have just been a green candle, right? Opening price, move down, right? Lets me know that the buyers brought it up, sellers brought it down, sellers brought it down, buyers brought it up, right? And so forth and so on. You guys get it. But what does it mean when we look like this, right? It just means that the opening and close price is the same. That also means that the buyers and sellers had equal power, right? And in the market sense, it means that there was indecision. Now, typically when you see one of like an indecision candle, or you see a candle where, let's say this, right? We have one of these, right? When the buyers tried to bring it up and the sellers said no, right? Followed by another one of these, or whatever the case may be, like we're seeing here. That lets us know that, the buyers, or whatever side we were going on, right? If we were bullish, or if we flipped this chart around and now we were bearish and we saw this at the bottom of a downtrend, it lets us know that there's a strong chance that in this case, the buyers are starting to get weak, right? Because now, right, they pushed it up, the sellers pushed it down, indecision, right? The buyers tried to push it up again, the sellers pushed it back down, right? Sellers are winning that, right? Oh, but the candle's green. Doesn't matter, right? The sellers are winning that, right? Indecision right here. The buyers tried, right? The buyers tried again, but the sellers aren't letting you, they're saying, no, you're not getting past here, right? We are not going to let you get above this level. Absolutely not. At the same time, right, what I'm doing is I want to make sure that I get a good entry, right? I see that we're holding this level. I don't care about the little wicks here and there, but I see that in general, we're holding this level. But at the same time, we're at the top of an uptrend because the buyers aren't able to get above this level, right? Even though they're holding it down here, but they can't get above here, and they just went on a hell of a run. I'm not buying at the top of an uptrend, but I'm selling at the top of an uptrend. That's what I want to do, right? If I want to entry, I want to enter below this level, right? You can see that we opened right here. The buyers tried one last time to bring it back up, but the seller said no, and ended up bringing it all the way back down, right? Obviously, this is the daily chart. I'm not entering any trades on the daily chart, but you can see here that just where we lost that level, I'm entering up below that level, and I'm gonna have a price target of my previous level here, right? And let's say we do get that, because it makes sense. Not only that, guys, but we had, right, we already broke down the candles. We broke below that level. Then we made a support level, a resistance level, right? That's another way that I identify key levels, right? When we have something like this, right? When resistance becomes support, or support becomes resistance, right? That's what you want to see, like that, or that's what helps you identify a key level. Then you're playing, that depends on what kind of trader you are. I'm a breakout trader. I like breakouts. So you can see why I like these, these momentum plays where we hold a level, then we break above that level. Because that right there, I'll kind of rewind really quick, right? When you see something like this, especially on the daily chart, like I said, we already broke down why the daily chart is so important. You can look at this and be like, you know what, man, the buyers are here, right? They're getting more aggressive. You can see the bounce right here, they've been holding this level for over a week, right? This is a super, super, super strong level. When I see the buyers getting aggressive at a price point where the sellers are not wanting to give in, all it does is create a bunch of pressure, right? And imagine, pipes, right? And what happens when pipes had too much pressure? They burst, right? In this case, you see a multi-day uptrend, a multi-day breakout, right? Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, right? That was a 6-day breakout right there. That's how long that run lasted. So, that's why I enjoy those kind of trades. That's just me in general, right? But to just keep that in mind. Now, right here obviously we have resistance, but let's say this level right here is acting as support because the buyers are holding that level. We break, support becomes resistance, right? That lets me know that I like that level, right? Let me get rid of that because, again, I don't really care about the specific number. Like, we're not worried about this specific number at all, guys. Right, let's put that back there. Right, we make a move down. Boom, look where we bounce again, guys. We bounce again at this trend line. What does that mean? The buyers are still here. The buyers are still, the market's still respecting these levels. The buyers are still respecting their levels, right? But at the same time, we are forming lower lows on this side, which indicates a trend reversal. Right here, we had lower highs, meaning we had a low right here, and then a higher low, right? This low was higher than this low. And then we have a low, right? Our low, and then we have a lower low, and then here we have a lower low, or a lower high, lower high. Sorry about that, right? We're here, and then we make a move down, make it move back up. That's a high. We make it move back down. We make it move back up. That's another high. And you can see that this high, or this high right here, is lower than this one, right? Which indicates a lower high, right? So essentially, we made a move up, higher lows, then lower highs, right? Which could be an indicator of that trend reversal, for sure, right? Then you can see we eventually broke that trend line, right? But look where we bounced. Good old reliable right here, right back at this level, right? Because these levels have become relevant because we've seen the interactions with these levels before, right? We end up breaking out, right? We run through that level, right? And just to let you guys know, just because the level's there does not mean anything other than the level's there, right? Just because we hit a resistance level does not mean we're going to reject. Just because we hit a support level does not mean we're going to bounce, right? You have to play the market. You have to play the price action. Just because don't try to, it's good to anticipate, but it is not good to assume, right? I think those are two different things. Anticipation comes from you making a solid decision based off of data that you have received from the market based on your own analysis. Assumption is just, it's a one-step process. Oh, that's resistance, it's going to reject. That's support, it's going to bounce, right? No, we need more data than that to make decisions, right? Just to throw that out there. Right, and then we came here, then the multi-week, multi-month uptrend for NQ was finally over because the seller said, no, this is our main level. You're not getting past here. We don't care. You're not getting past here, right? And then you can see here, guys, check this out. This used to be resistance. Now we're looking at this, support, 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 right? We bounced off here 3 times, even rejected this level 2 times, right? The sellers are trying to put up a little fight 3 times, maybe trying to put up a little fight at this level, but the buyer's like, move out the way. We're going up here. But you can see, remember what I said earlier, right? My key levels. I love when resistance becomes support or support becomes resistance, right? Right. I love that. I love that stuff. Those are just solid levels, right? You know you can trust those levels when you see that type of consistency is pretty much what I'm saying, right? You got the resistance, right? Got the resistance right here, right? Then we got the bounce, we got the bounce, right? Even down here, right? Resistance, right? Kind of like, not really, whatever. Kind of bounced off this level one time and took off, right? But look at this right here. Look at this candle. Ugly candle, right? It was a red to green day, right? It was the candle open here, came all the way down, came all the way back up and closed, right? That's an ugly day, but we were red to green. And you can see, where did we stop though? The sellers were in control, but where did they stop? Right here, right? It was resistance, right? Now it's support, right? Then we came back down again and check this out. Now it's resistance again, right? We're here, right? Resistance, 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 right? Look at the consistencies within this level. So now you know, for now on, at future times, you at least can be very aware of this and understand the history of this level. Like I said, just because it's there does not mean, like, next time we see this level, we may just go right through it, Who knows? But we know that, okay, if we're coming up on this level on the daily chart, then I need to be aware of it, because there may be a situation, a profitable situation, where there's going to be shorts, where there's going to be a breakout, wherever it's going to be. I just want to make sure I'm there, right? And let's continue on. So, right, we make a move down. We stop right here, right? I like this a lot, though. Check that out. Right, so you can see here we had some consolidation here for sure. That is valid. That's something I would look at on different time frames to possibly make it look a little cleaner. But for the sake of the daily chart, we'll just leave it alone for now. Excuse me. Right, and look where we came back up. Right, resistance. Boom, we have a bounce here. Right, and then we flush, and then boom. Look, now we have resistance. I'm interested automatically. The first time, I'm watching. The second time, I like it, right? Because now I see we break, and then we retest it, and then we're looking like we're going to reject again based on multi-time frame analysis, so forth and so on. I'm going to take that downside, right? I'm 100% going to take that downside, right? Because support became resistance. I love when I see that, right? We make a move up. Boom, look at the history, right? I'm not saying that, like I said, anticipate, use the history to your advantage. If you see the shorts, take the shorts. You see the buys, take the buys, right? We reject here, as we have done so many different times, right? Daily time frame, more powerful level, which makes it a key level for sure, right? We make it move down. We break this level. Okay, maybe we're not going to be support, but look at the candles, right? Again, I'm not sitting here naming these candles, but I'm looking at them. I'm looking at their formations, and I'm looking at what they mean. What are the buyers and sellers trying to tell me, right? We break this level. The buyers tried it. The sellers said no. The buyers tried again. The sellers said no. The buyers tried again. No, right? We go back. Sellers also said no, again, right? So that lets me know that, okay, there's something here. There's an opportunity here for me to, catch some downside. And for me, just for the sake of, where I would get in, it would just be a break of this level. Right, stop loss will be above the level, right? Then I have my trailing stops on, obviously, like I said, I'm not executing on the daily time frame. That's just to give you an idea. And then let's see, we make a move down, right? Looks like we have something here, right? Let's check this out. We make a move down here. We see that we bounced here before, kind of chop through this. Again, charts aren't going to always look like a Google image. It's not going to always look super clean. Don't worry about that. But you can see here, we bounce here, and then we're here again, right? Bearish candle. The buyer said, let me try. The seller said, nope. Buyer said, let me try again. Boom. Okay, now I'm interested. I'm like, okay, this is the second time the buyers are trying this, and then the second time they failed, right? Third time they failed, right? I'm very interested in this now, but at the same time, Isaac, so you're going to get in sales up here? No, because I want to make sure we clear this level. Right, I can see a common support level right here. I just want to be clear of. Right, like I said, you can't get an exact number, but I can be very aware of the zone. Right, we clear this zone. Right, I'll look to get in. Boom. Right, make that move down. So forth and so on. But you can see here, right, the buyers tried so many times. The sellers said no every time. Right, at the same time, the buyers are holding this level because they were trying so hard to make sure we didn't break it. And then as you can see, we wick, but then we just had the body flush right through and then continue this downtrend, right? And then you can see again, right? Made a move down, made a move back up, support became resistance, right? Became support again, became resistance. This zone right here is a very important zone. I want to make sure I'm aware of it at all times, right? And remember what I said about the formation of candles. Remember way back here, right? We had this. It's the same thing right here. Very strong bearish candles here, right? And then we start getting weird. It starts getting weird. The sellers are losing momentum. They're losing momentum here, right? They're trying, right? They're getting wicks on either sides, like lots of indecision. The sellers are trying to push it down. The buyers are saying no, right? For me, I'm putting this right here, right? I don't mind drawing through a wicks. I prefer not to draw through bodies. You can see here that the body of the candle never crossed this level despite trying many times. And then you can see here that we eventually made a move up. Again, I don't execute on the daily time frame, so I'm not looking to, even give an example of where I would enter for this particular situation, right? We've made a move up. You see very bullish candle. Then we start getting weird. Okay, cool. Isaac, how are you feel confident in your plays? So not only did we start getting, those indecision candles again, but we got those indecision candles again at a key level, at a level, right? So that's why I'm definitely interested in this, because we got one of those, we got that at a level. That's beautiful, right? So that lets me know that, okay, we're probably going to fall back down again. That's how I will usually draw my, to time my entries. We break that, boom, I'm in on the way down, right? Just for that example, right? But check this out. We're here. Right? So we get right back to that same level-ish, and we start acting a little funny, right? Very bearish candles, and we start getting those little funny candles, like those indecision candles. The sellers or the buyers are trying to figure out, are we going to continue or are we going to reverse? But then I see this again, and we talked about this already. Pause the video. What are the buyers saying, guys? You guys remember it from right here. What are the buyers saying? Pause the video, let me know. Right? What are the buyers saying right here? The buyers are gaining, or they're gaining strength, right? Let's put this right here really quick. The buyers are gaining strength. Check this out. Boom, the sellers brought it down. The buyers said, okay, this is where it ends. Sellers say, I'm here, right? Even though we have rejections here, the sellers end up saying, I'm here, right? But check this out. The buyers step in sooner. That lets me know that the buyers are aggressive. They're building up pressure. Sellers say, boom, same level, right? No. Right? They didn't step in earlier, though. They just stopped at the same level. The buyers, on the other hand, stepped in earlier again. Boom, right at the trend line. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, right? Brought the price up. We have this common level of resistance, right? We break above it. That's a smooth entry. Let's say you miss it. Boom, retest. That's even better. Resistance became support. Now we bring this thing back up. My targets are going to be previous highs. You can see here, support, resistance, right? Ended up becoming support. And then you have, a level, this level here, if it makes sense, which I would probably be okay with this for sure. And then bring that thing back down, right? And that thing eventually came back down. Look, made it move down, held it a little bit. Seller said, nah, right? You want a continuation entry, wait for it to clear that zone, right? Projection again, same exact level, and then brought it back down, right? So you guys get what I'm saying. This whole thing, this whole idea, right? We didn't talk about indicators. We didn't talk about, I didn't tell you anything about no ascending triangles or nothing. We talked about the relationship between the buyers and sellers and who was winning. And we talked about what the candles look like when we're trying to identify who's winning. Not only that, but realize, guys, all of our plays so far, all of the hypothetical plays, guess what? They have been at key levels, right? Or intraday levels, we're all on the daily chart, but I only take plays at levels, key levels or intraday levels, meaning that under the daily, which is what intraday means, right? So check this out. Pause the video. Let me know where you're taking your plays, right? I'm taking my plays at the levels. That's where I'm taking my plays, right? Taking my play here, right? Everywhere. Because once you can establish the consistencies and you can see the consistencies, then you're like, yo, yeah, I'm going to take these plays. Because I recognize that if something happens over and over and over again, right, you're going to feel okay. You're going to be able to trust it a lot better, right? Now, I'm not saying that, like I said, just because we hit a resistance level does not mean we're going to reject, but you understand the situation at the very least, right? Let's say we did this. Oh, I understand this situation. We're consolidating, right? Remember, I had my lines, but my entry's going to be under this, right? And we'll come up with another video on entries and exits again. But let's say we do this, but we break above the level. Okay, then I'm here. I'm gonna play the upside. Like I want to stay with. I want to follow the winners. The traders are the ultimate bandwagon, right? Because we're gonna flip sides. Oh, I'm team bull. Oh, now I'm team bear. I'm team bull again. I'm team bear again, right? Maybe sometimes it switches every day. Sometimes it switches within the day, right? It all depends. But that's what I got for you guys, man. I really hope that made sense. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about that. by anything we went over today. Again, I think this is really going to help a lot of you out because it is super important stuff. And, if you're interested, feel free down below in the description. You're going to see something that says Inner Circle. That's the Blueprint Inner Circle. It's my coaching program. Me, Jordan Sabu, who is a hell of a trader, and more coaches. We host sessions every single day during the week. And we also have, on the weekend as well. So every single day, we have 3-month access, 12-month access. It's a full-on hand-holding mentorship. If you want to trade futures, we're going to make sure you get funded with a funded account up to $150,000 with the prop firms like Top Step. If you want to trade your own money, that's completely fine. If you want to trade options, forex, crypto, it's all the same. You know why? Because price action is price action. All you have to do is click the link down below in my description, fill out the form in the link, and then we'll look forward to finding your understanding more about you and your situation, and helping you out the best we can. And we're going to help you out. The reviews on the Inner Circle are absolutely amazing. We got kids as young as 17 getting paid out. We have guys as old as 60 making thousands of dollars a day. It's a beautiful thing to see. So if you're interested in something like that, like I said, I think you'll be beautiful whether you're a beginner or an experienced trader. We meet you where you're at. We take it to the next level. But that's all I got for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.